Hello guys, welcome back to Tech Projects. I am back with another video, and this video is going to the final part of our chat application series. So in this part, to the till of the end of the part, we will complete our complete chat app, and I will show you complete working after ending the video. So don't further delay, now let's start this part and see how to create our chat application and how to implement one-to-one feature. So there are lots of things we are going to do in this video, so don't further delay. Now let's start the video. And if you don't subscribe the channel, then please subscribe the channel and hit the bell notification for more updates. So now let's start. So for this you have to simply open your Android Studio. So I open my Android Studio and I left my project here, my chat app tutorial you can see, and I left the project here. Now first of all we have to do some basic things, then we will proceed. So first close this and also close this chat fragment, also close this chat fragment.xml, then also close this set profile.java. Now first of all I have to implement font, and also I have to use my own icon for our application. So for this I will show you how to do this. So you have to right click on resource, then you have to click on new. So leave this idea, we can do directly. So minimize it and I open my file explorer, and you can see this is the font directory and it contains two fonts. So I am going to use these fonts. So if you want to use these fonts, then I will provide the link in description and you can simply direct copy paste them. So I simply Ctrl+C copy, then I open my Android Studio, then right click, then new, then right click, then simply click on paste, and it will directly create the folder here, and then will automatically the fonts present in that folder. So now click on refactor and make sure your folder name must be font. Now you can see in font folder I have playlist and railway. So this is done. Now I need a two drawable icons here to show my chat app logo and also to show the user profile. So I come on to the desktop and first I close this. You can see these are the two icons, your default profile and my chat app. So I select them. Now Ctrl+C copy, simply open Android Studio. So if you want to use these icons, then I will also provide the drive link in description so you can take them. Now click on paste, cancel, sorry, you have to right click on drawable. Now click on paste and it will automatically click on OK, it will automatically import these icons. Now click on refactor. So you can see both icons come here successfully. Now what we have to do, we have to simply come on our activity main.xml. First of all, simply come on our activity splash. So where is our activity splash? Here you can see, double click on it. So first thing which I have to do, click on this icon, image view icon, and by default what I use inside this, launcher background. So I have to use my own icon now. So I delete this, and when I type this, my app logo, simply type here my app logo, it automatically shows suggestion. So wait, logo, so you can see it shows suggestion. So click on tab, so it automatically complete this word, and you can see the logo implemented successfully and it looks amazing. Now click on this tech projects and I have to use the font here. So simply press enter, and then you can simply type here font family, and then I pass railway. So this is the font name, so it looks amazing. Now you can also add the font family in from Word, and you can also add the font family anywhere, wherever you want. So I am not going to add these in everywhere. So this is done. Now open your activity main.xml file, and also I have to remove the launcher background from here, and I have to use my own logo. So delete this and type here my chat app logo. So this is done, and also I have to change the font family here, font family railway. So you can see it look fine. Now come inside our OTP authentication, click on this, and I have to also remove this launcher background, and here you have to type here my chat app logo. So this is done, and also change the font family. So simply type here font family railway. So this is also done. So it's not showing, so delete this and type it again. So you can see it is fine now. Now simply come on our activity set profile, and first of all click on this text and simply change the font family here, font family railway, and then after this click on this image view, simply delete this launcher background. I don't want to use this, and by default what I want to show on my user, default profile. So you can see now it looks amazing. Now come inside our user profile. So where is our activity profile? So this is our activity profile, and click on this icon and simply delete this launcher background and simply type here default profile. So this is also done. Now first, before writing any code, simply come inside our values and then double click on colors.xml, and I have to change my title bar color. So you have to make change inside purple 700. So delete this code and simply type here 055047. This is the color code for our title bar. So now close this, and you can close everything. Now the work is done. Now we have to write the code for updating the profile and also one-to-one chat application. So close this and also close this. So now first open your activity profile.activity profile. So double click on it and also open your update profile activity. So where is our update profile? You can see this is. So first we have to design the update profile activity layout, and then we will write the code how to update the user profile, which will also reflect the change on Cloud Firestore as well as on real-time database. And then we will add a query how to show all user except me. And at last, then we will design our specific chat activity where user can chat. And at last we will write the code how to do one-to-one chat. So let's start writing the main code. So I have to design first the layout of our update profile. So delete the constraint layout and simply type here relative layout. So this is done. Now add a background color here. So I simply type here Android background and simply add a white color here. Now simply open your activity profile.xml, click on the toolbar because I need the toolbar inside our update profile also. So I simply copy this code, Ctrl+C copy, and simply paste the code up to toolbar. So this is done. Ctrl+C copy and simply paste the code here. Now press enter and simply type here Ctrl+V. So it will automatically paste the whole code here. Now what changes we have to make, we will move step by step, so don't worry. So first change what I have to make, I have to simply change the ID name. So toolbar of view profile, I have to type here toolbar of update profile. So this is the first thing which I want to make change. Now the second thing which I want to make change, instead of the back button of view profile, I have to type here back button of update profile. So this is also done. And also I have to make change here layout to right off. Instead of back button of view profile, I have to type here back button of update profile, then tab. So it automatically add the whole code. Now I have to change the text. So instead of your profile, I type here update profile. And it is not necessary to change this ID because we are not going to use this ID anywhere. So leave it. And you can see it is done. Now below this toolbar, what we need an image view where user can click on that. So user select the image, and also we need edit text where user can enter the name, and then a button and then a progress bar. So open this and simply copy this code of image view. So I simply copy the code of this, Ctrl+C copy, simply open your update profile and simply paste the code here. So this is done. Now which thing which we want to make change. So first of all, we have to simply type here, instead of view user image, I have to simply type here get new user image, and instead of, I have to simply type here this ID name get new user image in image view. So this is done. Now the position is not correct, but don't worry, we will correct the position. Now click on this edit text. So it is your choice whether you want to use this icon or not, but I am not going to use this. So I simply copy the edit text, Ctrl+C copy, update profile inside this, below this card view, simply paste the code here, and you can see it is implemented successfully. Now this is center in parent pass through. So first of all, I have to simply give the different name. So I simply type here get new username. So this is done. And instead of this hint, I can simply type here enter your new name here. Now click on this image view and simply you have to make change here. So you can see layout above view username, delete this and simply type here get new user name. So it will automatically paste this, and this is done. Now you can add increase margin bottom, it is your choice. Margin bottom 30 dp is fine or 20 dp is fine. It is completely depend on you, completely total customization. Now after this, what we need below this, I need a button. So it is better to copy the code, simply type the code manually of button. So I simply take an open bracket, type here android.widget.button and set the layout with 150 dp is fine. And now we have to set the layout height, 150 dp is fine. Then center horizontal pass through. Then we have to layout below and get new username. So this is done. Now we have to give the ID. So I give the ID name update profile button. So you can give any ID name, it is your choice. Now after this, we have to give the margin top margin top 20 dp is fine. Then we have to give the background, so you can give any background, so you can give my color code 25D366. Then set any text, so I simply set the text update profile. Now set the text color, set the text color white. Now close this. Now this button is not looking amazing, so because I give the layout height 150 dp, so change it to 50 dp. So it is created successfully. Now we can add also more space here, so instead of 20 dp I simply add a margin of 30 dp. Now below this what I need a progress bar. So what I can do, I can simply, you can copy the code from previous activity and you can type the code manually. It is your choice. It is very easy code. Progress bar, set the layout with wrap content, height wrap content, set the center horizontal pass true, and set the visibility invisible. And then we have to give the margin top 40 dp is fine, and layout below button, which is our update profile button. And at last we can simply set the id. So I simply give the id name here, progress bar of update profile. So this activity is created successfully, and you can see we create this activity in just 5 minutes. Now open your update profile.java file, and in this we have to write the code. So press enter first here. Now what things we need here, so I can simply copy paste the code. So open your profile activity and simply copy the whole code. I will tell you later, but simply copy the whole code for now. Simply paste the code here. So the first thing which we want to use here, Firebase storage, and you can also type everything as a private. So you can also type private everywhere, wherever we want to use. So we can use this inside this only this class. So simply copy paste the word private here. Now what changes we have to make? First of all, this is the edit text of mview user. Instead of this I need here new username. That's done. Now this is fine. This is Firebase database is fine, and I don't have any text view inside our update profile, so delete this. Firebase Firestore is fine. Image view, and inside this image view what I need is I have to type here get new image in image view. So this is done. Storage reference is fine. String image URI access token is fine, and Firebase storage is fine. Back button of view profile. Instead of this you have to type here update profile, and toolbar of update profile. So this is everything is fine. Now the things which is left, first thing is left is progress bar. So I have to simply type here progress bar, and I give the id name progress bar of update profile. Then below this what I need an image path, so user can select the new image. So I simply type here private, then URI, then type here image path. Then we need to take a intent here, intent. So I will tell you later what is the working of this. So click on this and press alt plus enter to import this. Click on this and also press control plus enter. So this is done. Now we have to declare a request code, result code. So simply type here private string static. So when we add a profile on our database, I pick the image. So you can use same code here. It is your choice. Pick image, and I simply store inside this 1 2 3 then semicolon. Now this is done. Now we have to take one more string which will store our new name. So string new name. So the ID is set up successfully here. Now we have to assign XML ID into our Java IDs, and also we have to take the instance of Firebase objects. So first I minimize this from here and then press enter. So let's start writing the code. So first I set the toolbar toolbar of update profile equal find view id r.id.update profile toolbar of update profile. So you can see it is done. Now add a semicolon. Now after this we have a back button back button of update profile equal find view id r.id.back button of update profile. Now we have a get new user image in image view. So equal find view id r.id.get new user image in image view. So this is done. Now press enter. Now below this what we have, simply type here progress bar of update profile equal find view id r.id dot progress bar of update profile. So here is the progress bar. Now after this we have m new username, which will take the new username equal find view id r.id dot get new username. Then we have a m update profile button. So I forget to give the typecast of button, so come here and simply type here android.widget.button and give the button name update profile button. So simply type there m update profile button equal find view id r.id dot update profile button, then semicolon. Now we have to take the instance of firebase auth equal firebase auth dot get instance. Then we have a firebase database equal firebase database dot get instance. Then we have firebase storage equal firebase storage dot get instance. Then we have firebase firestore equal firebase firestore dot get instance. Then we have a intent equal get intent. We have to take the data from intent. Now we have to set the support on action bar, and simply I type here m toolbar of update profile. So I will tell you later what is the working of this intent, why I am using intent here, so don't worry. Now we have to do one thing. If someone click on update profile button, if someone click on back button of update profile, m back button dot set on click, then we have to simply finish this activity on. Then we would simply type here finish. This is done. Now try to understand one thing. This is our profile activity. So if someone click on m update profile, so you can see where is the code. So whenever user want to move to update profile, then I have to show the previous name and previous image on our edit text and on our image view. I can easily fetch the image from directly from URL, so there is no need to worry. But for name, I can also fetch the name inside our update profile, but it is not a good code. So we can simply pass the code from our intent. So I can simply pass the data from here. So that's why I use intent there. So you have to simply type here intent dot put extra and then any string name of user. I can simply type this. Now I have to pass the name mview username dot get text to string. So this is done. Now it will successfully pass this name. Now I can use that name to show the previous name of the user. What is the previous name of user? So this is done. Now one thing, I also want an override method. So click on this profile activity and simply simply come inside our set profile. So click on this, close this. So you can simply copy this code because I have to select the image again. So I can simply copy this override method, Ctrl+C copy update profile, and simply paste the code below this bracket. And instead of this get user image, instead of this we have to type here m get new image in image view. So this is done. Now come inside update profile and try to understand one thing. Let us suppose user change the image and user does not want to change the name. There is second condition, user want to change both, and there is third condition, user want to change only image, not name. So we have to work according to all conditions. So first I simply take the object of database reference to change the name. So I simply type here firebase database dot get reference, and inside this I simply type here firebase auth dot get uid. So I store the data according to our uid. So as you already know, now I have to simply type all code inside our if user click on update profile. Then we have to validate all conditions. So set on click listener, then new, then capital O, and press enter. So this is the first condition. Now inside this, what I have to type, first of all I have to check whether user name is empty or not. So if new name, first of all I already take a string, then I simply type m new username dot get text to string. So it will, if user enter anything, then we get simply take this inside this. So if user don't enter anything, then we have a already previous name, which is we get from our previous activity. So we don't need to worry. So if new name is empty, then we have to perform some condition. So we can simply type here toast dot make text get application context and name is empty. Then any toast length, toast dot length short, then dot show. Now one thing I forget to do here, so if I have to show the previous name, which is the already existed name of the user, so I have to simply type here m new username, which is our edit text dot set text, and inside this where I get the data from our intent. So I simply type here intent dot get string extra, and inside this what is the name of the string? Name of user. So this is done. So it will automatically set the name which is the previous name. So now if new name is empty, then we have to do this. First of all, we have to simply display the toast. Now second condition is else if image path not equal to null. So what it mean? It mean user select a new image. So if it is not equal to null, then we have to update both things. We have to update also name and image. So maybe you're wondering, user don't want to update the name, but I still override the previous value because our edit text contains something. So it doesn't matter whether the user enter new name, it doesn't matter whether the user enter previous name. So we can still override that method. So we don't need to validate this. We have to simply validate image path, whether the image path is empty or not, because it will crash the application if user select on image but don't select new image. So we have to validate that condition. So now if image path not equal to null, it means user select the new image. So on that case, what we have to do, first of all, we have to simply set the new name, whether the new name is previous name or whether the new name is any name. So I have to first simply set the set visibility, progress bar of visibility visible. Then after this, I have to simply create the user profile, user profile class to work with real-time database, then new user profile. Then inside this, what I have to pass here, new name, and then firebase auth.getUID. So this is done. Now I have to simply set this value, database reference dot set value, and inside this simply pass here user profile. So it will update the name whether the name is existing one or the new one. Now after this, if image path not equal to null, it means user also want to update the image. So I simply call the function update image to storage. So I don't create this function till now, but don't worry, we will create this. So take your cursor here and click on create method and simply click on this. So it will create this method here. Now we will write the code later, but don't worry. Now there is one more condition. Let us suppose user want to, if image path is null, it mean user select the image, but user click on that image icon but don't select the new image. So on that case, what we have to do, first of all, before doing anything, simply I can simply display toast here, toast.makeTest get application context. Then I simply type here updated, give any toast message, then toast length dot show, and I have to simply move the user from this activity to our main activity. So I simply set the progress bar of update profile set visibility invisible. Then I need to simply type here intent equal new intent update profile dot this to chat activity dot class. Then start activity intent, and then we can finish this activity. So I simply type here finish. Now there is third condition, if else, if user only want to update the name but not the image. So on that case, the image path is equal to null. So on that case, what I have to do, I have to simply take the new name. So first of all, I simply create this user profile. So I can simply copy this code and progress bar Ctrl+C copy and simply paste the code here. So it will set the new value. Now below this, I have to call the function update name on Cloud Firestore. Update name on Cloud Firestore, because on chat activity I fetching the data from Cloud Firestore directly. So that's why if user update the name in real-time database, then I have to update that name also on Cloud Firestore. So after this, I have to simply display toast.makeTest get application context, and then I have to simply type this message updated, then toast length, toast.length short, then dot show, and then I have to simply start this activity and set the visibility invisible, Ctrl+C copy. And now maybe wondering why I don't update the name here. So try to understand one thing, and why I don't update the name on Cloud Firestore. So try to understand one thing. Let us suppose user update the name image. So after updating the image, first of all, I need to get the access token of that image, and when I will get the access token, then I have to also update the access token of that image on our Cloud Firestore as well. So that's why I don't call this function here, because I will call this function update name or Cloud Firestore or update data on Cloud Firestore whenever I get the access token. So I will call this function inside update image to storage. After updating the image, then I will get the access token, then I will update both things on name or image on Cloud Firestore. But if user don't want to update the name, and if user want to update only the name, and if user don't want to update the image, so on that time I don't need any access token, and I can simply directly call this function update name on Cloud Firestore. So hope you understand why I don't type this and why I type this here. So this is done. Now if user first of take your cursor here and click create this function, create method, and click on this update profile. So this will also create it successfully. Now below this bracket you have to simply type here if user click on get new image in image view. So simply type here set on click listener, then new, then capital O, and press enter. And inside this I have to simply start the activity intent equal new intent, and then intent dot pick action pick, and then media store dot images dot media, and then internal content URI. So this is the now we have to start activity for result. Inside this simply pass the intent, and then the third thing pick image, which is our code. So this is done. What we have to do before updating any data on database, first of all we have to show the previous user image, what is the previous image of the user. So for this I have to take the instance of storage reference. So I simply type a storage reference, then equal, then you have to type again Firebase storage dot get reference. Then we have to simply pass the path storage reference dot child. So what I can do, I can simply open the set profile activity and where I store the image, and this is the path. Wait a minute. So this is the path, so I can simply copy this path up to profile pic. Control C copy, simply open update profile and simply paste the path here. Now after this what I have to do, simply delete the semicolon and simply type here get download URL, because it is not possible to show the image. First of all we need access token. So new, then capital O, and press enter. So it will give the URI. Then we have to simply store that URI inside our image URI access token, then URI to string. Then we have to simply load this image. So I simply type here Picasso dot get dot load. Inside this simply pass the URI, and where we have to load the URI into our image view, get user image new image in image view. So this is done. Now we have to write the code for updating what data on our database. First of all it's showing error, so click on this, and what is the error? Semicolon is missing, so simply add a semicolon here. Now what we have to do, we have to update both things. First of all we have to update name on Cloud Firestore, and we have to write also code how to update image. So simply come inside the code of update name on Cloud Firestore, press enter. So inside this what I can do, I can simply overwrite all existing value. I will later tell you how to update one thing. Later we will see how to update the status of online and offline. But if I overwrite all values, previous value, existing values, then it will also work as update. So you can also overwrite the previous existing data, or you can create you can simply update a particular value. So I will tell you both methods. So in this way, first of all for updating the profile, I simply use the method for overwriting to existing all data, and whenever I will change the status of online and offline, then I will show you how to update in Cloud Firestore. So this is done. So for this simply open your set profile and you can simply copy this code. So where is the code? For Cloud Firestore we have to simply copy this, Control C copy, and simply update profile and simply paste the code here. So this is done. Now instead of this name, what you have to pass here? New name, and is here you have to pass image URI access token. So it is not showing image URI access token. So this is done. Now this is done. Now we have to write the code for update image to storage. So for update image to storage, I will use the same method again. We will simply overwrite the existing data. So simply open your set profile and simply copy paste this code, because I have to compress the new image also. So simply copy this code. After copy, Control C copy, simply click on update profile and simply paste the code here. So this is also done. And after this, instead of this you have to use here image access token, image URI access token, this is. And after this, when we will update the image on Cloud Firestore, and we can say when after updating the image on our storage, then we have to simply update the name. So I simply call the name update name. So it will also update the name on our Cloud Firestore, and also it will also update the image. So because I get the new access token inside our image URI, so it will also update that new token. So I have to simply call that function. So what is the function name? So update name on Cloud Firestore, this is the function name. So this is done. Now it is your choice whether you want to images, instead of this image is uploaded, you have to type here updated, and here you can type here image not updated. Then instead inside Cloud Firestore. It is your choice whether you want to give any message, whether the name is updated or not. It is your choice, completely depend on you. So it is better to give the message. So copy this toast. Where is the toast? Let me check. So Control C, copy, simply paste the code here. Profile updated successfully. So what it mean, if user select both thing, then both function will run, and if user select want to update only name, then it will function run. Please say the message profile update successfully, and if user want to update message, then we will get both toast. What is image updated successfully and profile updated successfully. So this is done. Now let's check our app whether the update profile is working or not. So for this I have to connect my phone, and then I will press on run button, and after if it is working fine, then we will write more code. And after, you can see I successfully connect my phone, and it is better way. And also we can check whether our font work fine or our icons work fine or not. So I press on run button and Grid will start building. So now the app built successful, and now it will install the application inside our phone. So now application installed successfully. So now application installed successfully, and you can see now the splash screen looks amazing according to our logo, and title bar looks amazing. So here you can see I have a 2 user now, because I create a new user in my new phone to show whether the app is working or not. So that's why. Now let's update our profile. So you can see this is my Brijesh and this is my profile. So I go on my profile section. So this icon is work fine. So you can see it show my name and image. So why after checking whether the app is working, whether the profile updating successfully or not, then I will add a query how to show all user except me. But for now it is better to see all user, because if I update profile, then I also want to show you whether these changes reflect on Cloud Firestore or not. So I simply click on want to update your profile. So it show my previous name Brijesh and it show my image. So let us suppose first I simply edit text not working. So maybe I forget to remove the line because I copy paste the code from our view profile. So that's why Android clickable false. So I forget to, so leave it for now. Simply click on image whether to check whether the image is working or not. So I go on to the camera and select this image. And after this, now I click on update profile. So I click on update profile, I get the message updated. So it means the profile is updated successfully. Image is updated. So after updating the image, I get the URI, and after getting the URI, I get the toast again. Profile updated successfully, and you can see on Cloud Firestore these changes get reflect, and I get the new image here on my chat activity. So it means everything is work fine and our code is work fine. So our name is also get changed, but I forget to remove the clickable false from our edit text. So I will check later whether everything is working fine or not. But if image is updated, then it means everything is work fine. So don't need to worry. Our code is perfectly. So now let's move ahead. So minimize this, and first I want to show what is the problem due to why I'm not able to update my name. So I come on my activity update profile. So click on it. And after this, you have to click on this edit text. And after this, click on this edit text. So I click on this, and you can see I forget to remove this Android clickable false. That's why I'm not able to click on this. So otherwise every code is work fine. So delete this. I will check whether the name is updated or not on next time when we'll run the app. So this is done. Now close this. Now let's try to understand one of the most important case, how we can show whether the user is online or whether the user is offline. So try to understand one thing. You can see we have a field on our Cloud Firestore by the name of status, and in this we pass values, whether we can pass online, whether we can pass offline. So when I have to pass online and when I have to pass offline, it is completely depend on you. So I will show you. So after creating the profile of user, when on the time of creating the profile, I have to send the status online. So it is fine. Now let's come inside our profile activity. So I will show you. Then inside this, press enter, remove the extra space, and then press enter below this bracket. Now we have to use 2 override method. One is on start and one is on stop. So simply take an @ and override implement method, and first we have to type here on stop. On stop. So this is the override method. Now inside this override method, what I have to do, you have to understand, you have to simply update the value. What is on stop do? Let us suppose you close the application. Let us suppose you come back from the application, or we can say when you come back from this profile activity, it means you are getting offline. So then you have to simply update the status whether you are offline. So for this we have to open set profile. So how we store the data on our cloud Firestore? Using this document reference. Simply copy this using this document reference, Control C copy, and simply come inside our profile activity, paste this line below here. So now we get the successfully path of our collection. Now we have to simply update one value. So I can simply type here document reference if on stop method only run whenever user close this activity, or we can say whenever user close the application. So I can simply type here document reference dot update, and I have to what I have to update status. So I have to update status and I have to replace it by offline. So this is done. Now we have to simply add an on success listener. It is your choice whether you want to use on success listener or not. So this is done. Now I can simply display toast here, toast.make text. At the end I will remove all toast, so don't worry. So I can simply type here now user is offline, then toast length, then dot show. And also we have to use one more override method which is known as on start. So on start only run whenever the activity will start. So by the way, the code flow is moving on this way, but if we add an override method on start, then the priority set by default, the priority set on start, so it will automatically run. So we don't need to call this function, we don't need to do anything, it will automatically run. So I can simply override this method on start, and inside this what I have to do, if activity this start, then I have to update the status. So I can simply copy this code, Control C copy, Control V paste, and I have to send the status online. So if activity run, then I have to simply send this status, and now user is online. I simply change the message. Now you can add this on start and on stop wherever you want. So I can simply copy this. So user can also go back from our update profile, so we can also add this inside this. So simply come inside our update profile and simply paste the code here, and you can see this is done. Now user also can go back from our chat activity, which will show all user. So I can also use that method here. So it's showing error, and why it is showing error? Because it does not, don't have a Firebase Firestore and Firebase auth. So I can simply copy this Firebase Firestore and Firebase Fire database, and simply display here and remove this textu and database, because we need only auth and Firestore. And now we have to take the instance. So this is Firebase Firestore instance and also Firebase auth instance. So Control C copy, simply take the instances here below this and remove the extra lines which is on toolbar and database. So this is done. So now you can see error is gone, and by this, using this method, we can successfully update the status whether the user is online or offline. So it means when user start the application, we simply update the value of status online on our database, and if user stop the application, then we have to simply update the value offline. So this is done. So you can see this is very easy code, and this is very amazing logic to write the code whether the user is offline or not online. So now close this. Now close this set profile. Now come inside our query part. How to show all user except me. So for this I will show you how to do this. So close this also, and simply come inside our chat fragment, and here is the chat fragment. So this is by default we are fetching all user, but I don't need to fetch all user. I have to simply fetch the all user except me. So I comment this code, and I have to simply type here again query, then Firebase Firestore.collection. Then I have to fetch all user. So this is the path, all users, and simply I have to use the query dot where not equal to, and then I store the UID by the name of UID, and then I have to simply type here my current UID, which is my UID, Firebase auth.getUID. So if UID is not equal to this, then I have to don't fetch this. So if UID is equal to my currently UID, then I don't need to fetch this, and otherwise I have to fetch all user. So hope you understand. So this is the query to fetch all user except me. Now if user click on any user, then we have to simply open new activity, which is our specific chat activity. From that activity user can chat with anyone, or we can say to that user. So for this, first of all, before opening the chat activity, I have to pass some data from this activity, to pass the username, to pass the user image. And how we can pass the user image? Using access token. And also we have to pass the user UID, because I have everyone UID, everyone's user UID, so I have to pass that data also. Because when we will write the code for doing the message between them, then we have to create room on our database, so UID will help. So I need, on that time I need both UID, sender UID, and also receiver UID. So I have to simply pass the bot data. So I have to simply type here intent equal new intent get activity, and where we want to go, specific chat dot class. So I don't create this activity till now, so it will showing error, but don't worry. Now we have to pass some data. Intent dot put extra, give any string name. I want to pass the name, so how can I pass the name? So I get the name using Firebase model dot get name. Then I have to pass the UID and also image access token. So first I pass the UID. So this is the receiver UID, because I want to send message to someone, so I am sender and that one is the receiver, so I have to get the receiver UID. So receiver UID. Then simply type here chat Firebase model dot get UID. Then the last thing, we have to pass the image access token to show the image on our toolbar, and I can simply type here image URI. Then Firebase model dot get image, and then we can start this activity. Start activity intent, then semicolon. Now simply create this specific chat activity. So right click on your package name. So this is our last activity of our project. So right click on your package name, then new, then you have to click on activity, then select empty activity, and simply type here specific chat, then click on finish. So error is not gone because I type here different name, so I have to simply type here specific chat. So now the error is gone. So now let's design the activity specific chat. First of all, we will design the layout, then we will write the Java code, and that Java code will be going to the final code of our application. So let's design quickly the layout first. So simply change the constraint layout to relative layout. So I simply type here relative layout. So this is done. Now add a background color. So simply type here background, and you can give your color code or you can give my color code. It is your choice. So my color code is ECE 500 sorry. So this is the color code. Now below this, what I need a toolbar to show the user image, to show the back button, and also to show the username. So I can simply copy the code of the toolbar. So open any activity which is activity profile and simply copy this code. So I copy the code, Control C up to toolbar, and then open specific chat and simply paste the code here. And inside this we have to make some changes. So first of all, make change inside our ID. So come in here, and simply instead of toolbar of view profile, you have to give the ID name here, toolbar of specific chat. So this is done. Now below this we have image button. So we don't need to, we have to simply change the ID name. So simply type here back button of specific chat. Now below this, what we have a text view. So before text view, what I need to take a image view here, because I also have to show the user image. So press enter below this and simply open your activity profile and simply copy the code of the card view. Later I will change the dimension and we don't need to write any code. Simply copy this code, Control C, copy, simply paste the code here. Then first start making changes. Instead of the height of 35 dp, make it 35 dp only, and instead of 130 dp of height, also make it 35 dp. And the second thing which we have to make change, so instead of view user, delete this first because we don't need this, and also remove the margin bottom and also remove the margin left. and delete this center horizontal also. Change the card corner radius 35 dp. Delete the extra dp word from here and also extra dp word from here. So this is done. Now we have to add some things here. So give the margin left 5 dp. Layout to right of back button of specific chat. Then give any id. So I already have id, so simply delete this id and simply type here card view of specific user. Now add center vertical, pass true. So this is done. Now we have to also make change here. Instead of view user image in image view, we have to type here specific user image in image view. So this card view is also created successfully. Now we have to make change of our text view. So remove the extra space from here and I simply change the, first of all I change the id name. So I will type here name of specific user. So this is the id name, and now this is spelling mistake, specific user. And after this simply delete this layout to right off first, and you have to type your layout to right off and pass the card view of specific user. So you can see it perfectly aligned. Now simply change the text, simply type here name of user. Then after this we don't need to make change anything, and it is created successfully, and you can see it is looks amazing. You can add also margin left, margin right, and you can customize it according to your own need, but from my side this is completed. Now below this toolbar what we need a recycler view to where we can show all of our messages. So for this simply take an open bracket, type here recycler view, set the layout with match parent, height of the recycler view again match parent, width and height same. Then we have to type here layout above and simply type here get message id name. So I don't create this id till now, but don't worry, simply type here id name get message. Then below this you have to give any id to this recycler view. So I give the id name recycler view of specific chat, specific, this is fine. Now we have to type a layout below, and we have to type here toolbar of specific chat. And then after this we have give any padding, so 5 dp padding is fine. Then close this. Now let's create our edit message. So below this recycler view what I need a edit text. So simply take an open bracket, type edit text, set the layout with match parent, height 50 dp is fine. Now set the hint. So I simply type here type a message. Then margin left 5 dp, margin bottom 5 dp, padding left 20 dp, and give the padding right 20 dp. 10 dp is fine, padding right. Now type here align parent bottom, pass true. Then we have to give the margin right. Why is the margin right? I will tell you later. Then below this I need a text color black. Then we have to give any id. So I type here id and I give the id name here get message. So now all error is gone. Now I have to type here background, so leave it for now, close this text view. So where is this text view? You can see this is the text view present here. I forget to give a text size, so simply type here text size, and I give the text size 18 sp. Text alignment, text start. So this is done. Now we can also change the text color hint if we want. So text color hint, and you can pass your custom color, it is your choice. You can use my color, so I simply type here hashtag A8A7A7. So this is done. Now below this, what I need an image view to show the circular message when user click on that button, send button. Then we have to simply copy this code of the card view and simply paste the code below this, edit text. So first of all, it's showing warning. Let's remove this warning. So it's a replace Android padding. Click on this, collapse empty tag, so it will remove all warnings. Now this is our card view, which will help to show, or we can say which will help to send the message. So delete this all things from here, Android margin left, Android center vertical, leave only these things. And also from image view, leave only this thing and otherwise delete all. Now we have to write code inside this. So first of all, the height and width is 45 dp is fine. Then this is also 45 dp is fine. Now press enter. Now below this, I have to type here id card view of send message. Then below this, simply type here layout to right of, simply type here get message. Then also make change here 45 dp. Now give the margin left and give the margin left minus 50 dp. Give the margin bottom 5 dp. Background tint, and you can give any background tint, and you can give my color code. So 08 df f80. Now type here align parent bottom, pass true. So you can see it is placed successfully here. Now come inside this image view. Simply type here source, and we have to use forward icon. So I don't have this vector icon, so right click on drawable, then new, then vector asset. By default I click on, by mistake I click on image asset. Close this. Again right click on new, drawable new, then click on vector asset. Click on this icon, type here forward. So I am going to use this icon, but you can use any icon, it is yours. As click on OK, and then click on next, then click on finish. So simply type here forward now. So when you type this, it automatically show this icon. So this is done. Now add a tint white. So what it's saying, it's showing error. So take your cursor here. So it say to use app tint. So click on this, app tint color white. Now we have to set the background color transparent. So simply type here background tint, type here @Android, then color transparent. Also set the background @Android transparent to make it perfectly. And now simply take an ID to give any ID. So I simply type here image view of send message. Now set the gravity. So simply type here gravity center. So this is done. Now the code of specific chat activity is ready. Now it is showing large icon, so you can give padding, it is your choice. So I simply type here padding, and I give the padding 10 dp. So it will set the perfect size. So 5 dp is also fine. Now after this, we have to create a custom drawable for our edit text background. So let's create the custom drawable. So right click on drawable, then new, then we have to select drawable source file, type here message background, then click on OK. Replace the selector by shape, set the corner radius 50 dp to make it round. So simply type here corners radius, and I give the radius 50 dp. Now close this. Now below this, we have to take a color. So simply take an open bracket, type here solid color white. Now close this. Now open your specific chat, click on edit text and add a background. Simply type the drawable file name message background. So this is created successfully. So you can see the layout of specific chat is created successfully. Now close everything. Now let's check our app whether the app is working or not. And if the app is working, let us suppose if the query is working fine of fetching all user except me, and also data passed successfully from our main activity to our specific chat, then we will write the main code of our how to do one-to-one chat between two user, and then how to fetch all messages, and how to attach different layout to sender message and receiver messages. So two layout files still left to design, but overall I can say 85% code is ready. So now let's check our app before moving. further, and I will also show you whether the name is updating or not on our cloud Firestore. So for this I have to connect my phone, and then I will press on run button. So I connect my phone and I press on run button, and Gradle start building. So after building the Gradle successful, after checking the app whether the app is working or not, then we will write the more code of one-to-one chat app. So let's wait until the Gradle build. So now the app build successful. Now it will install the application inside our phone. Now application installed successfully. So I directly come on to our chat activity, and now you can see query work fine because it's showing only one user. And previously when I run the app, on that time I have 2 users, but now only 1 user. And if I click on profile, you can see my profile name is, you can see my profile name is Brijesh. So that's mean query work properly. Now let's update our app whether our updating app working update name is work fine or not. So for this, it is not showing any name here. So if I click on update name is empty, it give me toast. So maybe I done a mistake why it is not showing our previous name. So we will check later, but for now simply type here Brijesh Kumar. Now I click on update profile. So profile is updated successfully. Now if I go back on profile section, so you can see now I am getting the name Brijesh Kumar. So maybe the data is not, you can see now it is work fine. On that time I don't know why it is not working, but now you can see it is work fine. So every code is work fine till now, and back buttons is work fine. Now we have to only write the code how to work with one-to-one chat. So if I click on any user, so you can see I come on to the specific chat. So in this activity I have to show the name of the user and also show the image of the user on our toolbar, and in this recycle view I have to show all messages. So we will write the code now. It's time to write the code, which is our main code of our application, how to connect, how to implement one-to-one chat feature between two users. So minimize this and let's start writing the main code. So simply open your specific at chat.java file, which is the main one. So I click on this and open it. So before writing any Java code, let's create the drawables for our background, which is sender message and receiver message, and we have to create the layout file for both. And also for designing the layout file, we need a custom drawable files. So first let's design the custom drawable, then we will create the layout, and then we will write the Java code for how to send message. So right click on drawable, then you have to click on new, then you have to click on drawable source file, and after this you have to give any name to your file. So this is sender chat drawable, so I simply type here sender chat drawable. You can give any name, it is your choice. Now click on OK. Now inside, so first of all replace the selector by shape. After this, below this, what we have to do, we have to add a background color and also a corner. So you can add as any background color, it is your choice. So first I simply type here solid, then color, and you can give any color code, it is your choice. So my color code is DCF8C6. So you can see this is fine. Now below this we need a padding, so simply type here corners and give the radius. Give the radius 5 dp, it is fine. Now close this. Now we need a drawable for our receiver chat. So what we can do, simply right click, then copy, then again right click on drawable, then paste, simply change the name. So this is receiver chat drawable, receiver chat drawable, then click on refactor. So we have to simply change the background color, and receiver chat drawable has a background color of white. So this is done. Now let's create the layout file for our messages. So what you have to do, simply right click on layout, then you have to click on new, then click on layout resource file, and after this give any file name. I simply give the sender chat layout, then change the constraint layout to relative layout, then click on OK. Now this layout file is almost took 2 hours to design by me. So this is completely responsive, it will automatically adjust according to message size. If the message length is small, then we will show the time here. If the message length is large, then we show the time on bottom. So it is completely responsive. So now let's see how to design this kind of layout. So first of all, layout with match parent is fine, and layout height is wrap content is fine. After this, because center message start from here, so we have to give a margin left. So press enter and give the margin left, and give the margin left 50 dp is fine. and after this give any padding. So it is better to give the padding 2 dp to give a space between messages. Now inside this layout, what we need, we have to take another relative layout. So simply take an open bracket, type here relative layout with wrap content, height is also wrap content. Now type here align parent end, pass true. Now below this we have to simply give the background. So I have to give the background here center chat drawable. Then you have to simply give any ID. So I can simply give the ID layout for message. You can give any ID name, it is your choice. Now close this relative layout. Now inside this relative layout, what I need 2 text views. So simply take an open bracket, type here text view. And after this set the layout with wrap content, height wrap content. Simply set the text. So whatever you want to set the text. So I simply type here sender message displays here. So you can see it looks fine. Now give the text size. So according to me 18 sp is fine, but you can give any text size, it is your choice. Now below this set the text color. Text color is black is fine. Now below this what we have to give the padding left, and give the padding left 7 dp is fine, and give the padding right is also 7 dp. Change the padding right to 40 dp, not 7 dp, because we have to create a space for time also. And also after this we have to give the padding bottom 7 dp is fine, and padding top is left, padding top 7 dp is fine. Then give any ID to make it working inside our recycler view. So I simply type here ID and give any ID name. So I simply type here sender message. Then close this text view. So you can see it is created successfully. It looks amazing. Now below this text view, what we need one more text view to show the time. Text view. Set the layout with wrap content. Height is also wrap content. Give any ID. So I give the ID time of message to show the current time whenever the message is sent or received. Now set the text size. So text size is 10 sp is fine. Layout to right of, sender message, margin left, give the margin left minus 40 dp. For now align parent bottom, pass true. And after this simply set the text. So for now I simply set the text 2009, you can set anything. Give the padding. So give the padding 27 dp is fine. Now give any text color. So you can give any text color, it is your choice. So I simply give here hashtag 434343. Then close this text here. So the text is appear here, the message is appear here, but first of all let's collapse the empty tag and let's see what is the mistake we done. Why this message showing like this? Now the error is due to because I type here layout align parent bottom, and I have to simply type here layout align bottom. So there is 2 options, layout align parent bottom and layout align bottom only. So you can see this is, and inside this you have to simply pass the ID name of sender message. So now it is created successfully and you can see it is fine. Now I will show you how the responsiveness is work. So you can see first I will zoom it little bit. So you can see when the message is short, the time is showing here. So let us suppose if the message is simply like this, Control X, I cut the text. So if the message is like this, then it will show like this. So you can see it is still look amazing. Now add a extra messages here. I simply add a extra text to show you how this responsiveness works. So you can see it is work fine. Every time it will work fine. So you can decrease the padding if you want also message here. So it is completely depend on you how you can customize, but this is work fine every time. So I close this. Now we have to design a layout file for our receiver chat layout. So what we can do, we can simply copy this layout file. So where you have, so right click on this layout file, Control C, copy, and simply right click on this and simply click on paste, and simply give the ID name receiver chat layout, then refactor. So it will create this. Now click on split. Now we have to make some minimal changes here. So first of all, what change we have to make? We have to include the receiver chat drawable instead of sender chat drawable. So it is fine. Now instead of align parent and pass through, you have to type here align parent left. pass through, and you can see it is fine. Now give the margin left and remove this margin left from here because receiver message start from here, and here you can give the margin right 50 dp. So you can see it is fine. Now we don't need to make any change. Maybe you're wondering why I don't change the ID name, because this is completely different layout, so we can use the same ID names here. So it is not necessary to change the ID names and also change the ID name of this. So we can leave this and now close this. The layout file is created successfully for both. Now close this drawable file. Now for working for, you can use message, you can use any database for your message. You can use Cloud Firestore, you can use real-time database. It is completely depend on you. So I am going to work with real-time database, but it is your choice whatever you want to use. So as you already know, if you want to work with real-time database, then you have to click create a Java class. So right click here first, let's create a Java class, and then new, then click on Java class. Now give any class name. So this is for our messages, so I simply give the class name messages. So it will create this class. Now inside this messages, what I need to pass on my database. So first of all, I have to simply take a string here. Then I simply type your message and the message which is entered by the user. Second thing which I want to pass, sender ID. It will help to attach the different layout, whatever. It will help to identify who is sending message and who is receiving message. So that's why I need to pass sender ID whenever a user send the message. Now we have to simply pass the timestamp. So what is this working of this timestamp? Because I have to align the message according to time. So I have to show the first message, latest message at last. So for this we have need a timestamp, then string, and then you have to simply type here current time. I have to also pass that on database. I have to pass the current time of message. Now after this, what I need a simply getter and setter and constructor. So simply press Alt plus insert, click on getter and setters and select all, then OK. So it will create this. Now we need a constructor and also an empty constructor. So Alt insert, then we have to click on constructor, then first select none, then we have to need a parameterized constructor. So constructor, select all, then OK. So this Java class is created successfully. Now we are finally ready to work inside this specific chat, how to show the name of users by which we are chatting, and also how to send message and receive message in this layout file. So first let's declare some variables. So simply type here edit text. This variable will help to get the message from the user. Then we have to simply take our image button, because we have to, when user click on that button, we have to send message send. So you can give any variables name, it is your choice, send message button. Now click on this and import this, Alt plus enter, click on this, Alt plus enter, import class. Now below this we need a card view, because we fit our image button inside a card view, send message. Then below this we have a toolbar first of all. So you have to type here android.appcompat.widget toolbar and give the variable name toolbar of specific chat. Then below this we have a image view to show the user image. So I simply type here image view of specific user. Then below this we have a text view to show the name of the user. So simply give the name name of specific user, then semicolon. Now we need a in a normal string which will hold the current enter message which is entered by the user. So simply type here private string and entered message. Now we need an intent to, because we are getting the data from our chat activity, chat fragment from this activity. Now we need a string which will hold the receiver name to which we send the message. Also we have a string for sender name. Then we have a receiver UID. And then we have a sender UID. So I will tell you what is the working of these variables. So first simply declare these. Now we need a Firebase auth object, Firebase auth. Then we need a Firebase database for work with real-time database, Firebase database. Then below this we need a two variable string, sender room and receiver room. Because for working with database we have to create a room. Now below this we need a string, we need an image button again for back button of this specific chat. So I simply type here back button of specific chat. then semicolon. Now below this, what we need one more variable of recycler view type to show the all messages recycler view, and I give the message, simply give the name message recycler view. You can give any variable name, it is your choice. Now we need an adapter, so I simply type here messages adapter. So leave it for now because I don't create the messages adapter class. Now we need a string to hold the current time. Then for getting the current time we need an instance of calendar, so I simply type here calendar, then give any variable name, I simply type here calendar. Then for simple date format, because we need a time in exact format, so simple date format, give the variable name simple date format, then semicolon. Now the variables work is complete. Now remove the extra space. First of all, simply assign the all IDs into our Java IDs, and then we will start writing our main code. So press enter. So first of all, simply type here get message equal find view ID r.id dot get message. Then we have a sender message card view equal find view ID r.id dot send message card view of send message. Then send message of image button find view ID r.id dot send message image view send message. I give this ID name send message. Now it's showing error. So why it is showing error? Image button to image view. So I open that file which is over specific chat. So this is specific chat, and now this is your image view. So for this, simply change it to image button, replace it by image button, so it will not affect the design. Now come inside this and you can see the error is gone. Now after this, what we need, we have a toolbar toolbar of specific chat equal find view ID r.id dot toolbar of specific chat. Then we have a name of specific user equal find view ID r.id dot name of specific user, name of user. First let me confirm what is the ID name. So ID name is name of specific user, capital N. So delete this, name of specific user. Now below this we have a image view. Image view of specific user is equal to find view ID r.id dot image view of user, image view specific user. First let's confirm this also. So click on this. We have lots of ID, that's why it's creating a little bit confusion. So this ID name is specific user image in image view, specific user image in image view. So delete this and simply type here specific user image in image view. So one thing I want to tell you, if you typecast the wrong variable in wrong IDs, then it will going to crash our application. So make sure you typecast the correct variables. Now we have a back button back button of specific chat equal find view ID r.id dot specific back button of specific chat. So here it is. Now we have to simply take the data from intent equal get intent. Now we have to simply set the support of action bar, set support action bar, and inside this simply pass the ID name toolbar. So this is done. Now if you want to set an on click listener on toolbar, then you have to simply type here toolbar of specific chat, then set on click listener dot set on click listener, then new, then capital O, and press enter. So if you want to make your upgrade app, and if you want to improve your app, then if you want to, whenever user click on toolbar, then it show the detailed profile, so you can use this. So simply I display a toast to show you whether it is working or not. So I simply type here get toolbar is clicked. So this is done. Now add a toast length, toast.length short dot show. Now below this, what we have to do, we have to simply take the instance of Firebase auth first. Firebase auth equal Firebase auth dot get instance. Then we have a Firebase database equal Firebase database dot get instance. Now we have to take the instance of calendar equal calendar dot get instance. Now we have to set the simple date format equal new simple date format, and inside this we have to pass the format. So I simply pass the format hours minute. So this is the simple date format. Then this A means to show the whether it is to change the format inside hours and minutes, and it is 24-hour format. So this is done. Now below this, the main important things start from here. First of all, we need a sender UID. So how we can get the sender UID? Who is the sender in my map? I am the sender first. So I simply type here mSender UID. I declare the variable, and inside this I simply store my UID, current UID, Firebase auth.get UID. So this sender UID holds the UID of that person who is sending the message. Now inside receiver UID, inside mReceiver UID equal, we have to get the UID from our chat fragment. So I will show you. So you can see this is our chat fragment, and when user click on anyone and user want to chat with anyone, then we are getting the UID of that person, you can see, and I simply pass that UID using an intent, and the string name is receiver UID. So simply copy this string, Control C. Then we can use this string because we will create a room using this sender and receiver UID. So I simply type here get intent dot get string extra, and inside this simply pass that key name. So this is done. Now we also need a receiver name. So mReceiver name equal get intent dot get string extra, and inside this we have to get the name. So I pass the name using this name. So Control C, copy, and simply paste the here in double quotes name. And also we can get the image, but we will do that later. Now one thing, first let's create the room. So simply type here sender room, and inside this I have to create the room using the sender UID plus mReceiver UID. So this is done. Now we have to create the receiver room. So receiver room equal mReceiver UID plus sender UID, mSender UID. So now try to understand what is this logic. Let us suppose you want to send message to anyone. So and then we want to display that message. So it is not possible. Let us suppose I send the message and then I simply store that message on my according to my UID. So it will show only my message, but not of that person who is sending message to me. So for this I have to send message on both way. So I have to send message on both places. So I simply create two rooms. One room is using sender UID plus receiver UID, and second room is receiver UID in and sender UID. So let us suppose if other person wants to chat, then on that time that person has sender room and I am come inside a receiver room. But if I send message, then I come inside sender room and then that person come inside receiver room. So it will automatically help to fetch the message, and it will automatically help to assign the layout to on which type of layout. Like I want to show my message on right side and I want to show the receiver message on left side. So that's why we need a room to display all things, and it will also help to show all messages to between one-to-one chat. So when I will send message, and then I will show you how these things work on database. So don't worry, we don't need to any worry. Now one thing we can do, if someone click on back button, then we have to simply finish this activity, new, then capital O and press enter, and then we have calls simply finish. So this is done. Now first set the name and image on our user. So I simply type here name of specific user dot set text, and inside this I can simply pass I am from where I getting the name. I stored that name inside our mReceiver name. So I simply type here mReceiver name. And then I have to store the image also. So I simply take a local string URI. I give any variable name because I am also passing the image access token from here. So you can see inside using image URI. So simply copy this. Control C, copy. Now we have to simply get this URI, and then we will load that URI using Picasso. So URI intent dot get string extra, and inside this simply pass that. Now semicolon. Now we get the URI successful. Now we need a if else condition here. If URI is empty, so it will help to prevent our application from crash later. Suppose if the URI is empty, and then our application will crash. So we can use simply a test here, get application context, and I can simply pass here null is received. So this is done. Now toast dot length shot dot show. Now we have a below this we need a else part, and inside this else part we have to simply load the image on our image view. So simply type here Picasso then we have to simply type here get, then load. Inside this simply type here URI, then where we want to load the URI into dot into, and we have a image view of specific user. So this is done, image is also done, back button done, toolbar done, name is done. Now only send message work is left. So now we simply click on send. If someone click on send message button, then we have to simply send the message. So send button dot set on click listener, then new, then capital O, and press enter. Now inside this we have to write all code how we store the message on our database. So press enter first, because this code is going to be lit. So inside this we have to check whether the user enter any message or not. So I simply get a variable enter message. So I simply get the message from our edit text get message dot get string, get text to string. Then we can check if entered message is empty or not. So let us suppose user does not enter any message and want to send toast.make text get application context, and I simply type here please enter message first, and after this I can start the process in an else part toast.lenshot.show. Now we can start the process inside our else part how to send message on our database. So inside this simply type here else, and now press enter. Now what we have to do, we have to simply, first of all we have to take the current date, or we can say current time of that message. So I simply type here date equal new date, then semicolon. Now below this what we have to type here, current time. I had already declare a variable, so inside this I simply store that. So I simply type here simple date format, and inside this simply type here calendar dot get time. So why this is date? This is date for timestamp. So this is done. Now we have to simply send this message. So first of all, for working with real-time database, we have to create the model class, which is the class which I created, and we have to create the object of that class. So I simply create the messages, then equal, then new, then messages. Inside this what we have to pass? We have to pass our 4 parameter. First thing is our enter message. Second thing is our current UID, sender UID, Firebase or that get UID. Third thing we have to pass our date, timestamp, date.get time, and the fourth thing we have to simply pass the current time of message. So this is done. Now we successfully passed these 4 things. So I open that messages class. Where is this? So you have to pass this in date format. So this is done. Now we have to simply store this thing on our database. So simply type here Firebase database dot get instance. Then we have to simply type here Firebase database dot get reference, then dot child. Inside this child we simply create a place where we can store all messages. So inside this we simply create a message chats. Now below this I have to create a room, and I simply, how to create the room? Sender room. So sender room contain what thing? Sender room contain the sender UID and receiver UID. So we will store message first on here, then child. Inside this we can create one more child, and inside this I simply type here messages. Then after this we have to simply push this. Then after push this we have to simply type a set value. What we have to push? Our messages, and this messages contain all 4 things. So this is done. Now we have to simply type here add on complete listener, then new, then capital O. So if this thing happens successfully, then we have to simply again send the message on our receiver room. So simply type here Firebase database dot get reference, then again create the child with the name of chats, then press enter. Then we have to simply type here child, which is our receiver room. Then we have to simply type here child dot child, and inside this simply type here messages. Then make sure this path is and this path is same. Now after this we have to simply push, and what we have to push? We have to simply set the value of our messages. Then we have to simply add a non-complete listener again, then new, then capital O, and you can display any toast here whether the message is sent or not. It is your choice. So after this add a semicolon here, and after sending the message we have to simply set the edit text null. So get message dot set text, and inside this simply pass the null. So this is done. Now the send message work is complete. So this is just a simple code to send the message. Now the main code is how to retrieve message inside a recycler view, and how to show the sender message on right side, and how to show the receiver message on left side. So this is going to be a little bit tricky. So for this working with recycler view, first of all we have to create a adapter. So right click on this, then you click on new, then you have to click on Java class and give the class name messages adapter, then class created successfully. Now this class what we have to do, we have to simply extend this class using recycler view dot adapter. Now it say to implement 3 methods, so click on this and simply create implement methods and click on OK. So this is done. Now press enter. Now we need 2 things first here. So first thing is context, give the name context. Then we have a array list which will hold the messages. So you have to declare the messages array list type of messages class, then give any message name. I simply type a message array list, then semicolon. Now click on this and press Alt plus enter. So now after this we have to declare 2 variables. So I simply type a int item send equal 1, int item receive equal 2. So it will help to identify whether the user sending message or not. Now after this we have to create a constructor. So simply alt insert constructor. We need two things only, context and message array list. Click on OK. So it will create this constructor. So this is fine. Now we have to create 2 view holder. So otherwise by default what we need only 1 view holder, because generally we have only 1 layout, but in that case we have 2 layouts. So that's why we needed 2 view holder. So simply type here class, then first view holder is sender view holder, extends recycler view dot view holder, then take 2 curly braces. Now click on this and create constructor matching super. Now what we need, we have to show 2 things on our recycler view. Simply type a text view, then I simply type a text view message, you can give any variable name. Now text view, and second thing is our time of message. Now we have to assign the XML ID into our Java IDs. So simply you have to type here below this text view message equal item view dot find view ID r.id dot and sender message. Then below this time of message equal item view find view ID r.id dot time of message. So this is done. Now we need a receiver view holder. So simply copy this code, Control C copy, simply paste the code below this, simply change the class name. So instead of sender view we have to simply type a receiver view. So delete this extra word, receiver view holder. Now also change it from here, receiver view holder. So this is done. Now we don't need to change ID names because this is completely different layout and completely different view holder, so it's not going to clash, so don't worry. Now let's start working with our recycler view. So first remove the extra space from here. Now the main important thing, how to identify who is sending message and who is receiving message. So I already declare a variable item send and item receive. Now we have to simply override a method @override. So the override method name is, first delete this and use alt insert, and then we select override method, and inside this override method you have to simply type here get item view type. So simply import this override method. Now inside this what we have to do, we have to simply delete this return first, and after deleting this return, so we have to simply fetch the current UID. So if first I simply type here messages dot, first of all we have to take the position of message. So messages dot messages array list dot get position, then we will check the position. So if Firebase auth dot get instance dot get current user, we will get the current user, then we simply get the current UID, and then we simply fetch we have to compare this UID using from our messages database. So I simply type here messages dot get sender ID. So if the sender ID is equal to current UID, then it means I am the sender. So if sender ID is equal to current UID, if the sender ID is equal to, try to understand this thing. Let us suppose I am sending message. So on that time sender ID is also equal to current UID. Let us suppose I am receiving message. So on that time sender ID is not equal to current UID. So hope you understand. So inside this we have to simply type a return item send if it is equal item send, and otherwise what I have to return, else I have to simply return item receive. So it will easily identify whether who is sending message and who is not. So hope you understand. Now Instead of return 0, we have to return the message array list size. So message array list dot size. Now only the thing is left, we have to attach the view holders. So how we can attach? Come on the top. So recycler view holder, and inside this we have to simply attach our view holder. How we attach? So if view type, what is the view type? If view type is equal to item send, so it means I am the sender. Then I have to simply attach the which view. I have to simply type here view. Then we have to simply type a layout inflator dot inflate from context. Then we have to, what I have to do, inflate and r dot layout dot sender chat layout. If I am sending message, then I have to attach sender layout. Then simply pass here parent. Then we have to pass false, and then we have to simply return this view, return new sender view holder, and inside this simply pass the view. So it will bind the text and message time. Now if it is not, then else. And inside this else part, what I have to do, I have to simply copy this code again, Control-C copy, and inside this I have to attach receiver chat layout. So receiver chat layout, and inside this I have to return on view on receiver view holder. So this is done. Now we have to write the code inside our on bind view holder, where we will set the data. So come inside this and press enter. So first of all, we get all messages equal messages array list dot get position. Then after this, what I have to do, I have to simply type here if holder dot get class, and if it equal to sender view holder dot class, then I have to simply set the text message on sender view holder send. So simply type here first create the object sender view holder. You can give any variable in view holder, then equal, then sender view holder, and typecast it using holder. Now we have to simply type here view holder dot text view message dot set text, and how we get message, messages dot get message. Then after this we have to simply type here view holder dot time or message dot set text and messages dot get current time. So this is done. Now inside this else part, simply type here else, and we have to simply make some changes. So first of all, copy this change, copy this code, Control-C copy, and Control-V paste. Simply create the object of receiver view holder, and inside this simply type here receiver. So this is done. Now the adapter work is complete, and this code is complete. Now we have to simply fetch the message from our database, and we have to simply attach the list to inside our recycler view. So I will show you how to do this. So open this, and we can start writing code from here after declaring the object of this. So below this we can write the code. So before writing code, first come on to top, we have to declare a list and also a message adapter. So press enter below this and simply type here message adapter, because we need this object. Then simply type here message adapter, then semicolon. Now below this we need a array list. Inside this simply type here messages and then message array list. So this is done. I already done with recycler view. So I don't set any ID on recycler view. So first of all, let's set the IDs on recycler view. Also press enter. Simply type here m message array list. First of all, we create array list, message array list equal, then new, then we have to simply type here array list. After this we have to assign the XML ID into Java IDs. So m messages recycler view equal find view ID r.id dot recycler view of specific. So this is done. Now we have to create a linear layout manager below this. So simply type here linear layout manager equal new linear layout manager dot this, pass the current context. Then we have to type here linear layout manager dot set stack from end, because I want to start recycler view from reverse, true. Then we have to type here m message recycler view dot set layout manager, and inside this what I have to pass linear layout manager. Then we have to create the m messages adapter equal new messages adapter, and inside this we have to pass two things, which is our context and second thing which is our array list. Then below this, what we need to simply set this adapter m messages cycler view dot set adapter, and inside this what I have to pass, set adapter messages adapter. So this is done. Now we have to store all messages inside our messages array list. So how we can store this? So we have to simply fetch these all messages from our database. So I will show you how to do this. So we have to create a database reference first here, press enter, simply type a database reference, then give any variable name. I give again database reference, then Firebase database reference, Firebase database dot get reference. Inside this we have to pass the child where we store our message chats, and I am sending message and I am running the phone, so that's why I am sender. So I have to simply fetch the message from our sender room, and this is done. Now we have to simply type a child, then where we store message inside our messages path, then semicolon. Now we have to simply type here messages adapter equal new messages adapter. Inside this simply pass the context specific chat dot this and our array list, messages array list. Now type here database reference dot new, then capital V, and press enter. Now we have to simply first we have to clear our array list, previous array list. So we have to type here message array list dot clear. Then after this we have to take message one by one. So simply type a data snapshot, then any variable name. I give snapshot1, then snapshot dot get children. Then we have to simply pass this things on our array list. So simply type here messages first, then we have to get the messages equal, then snapshot1 dot get value, and how we get value from our messages class, messages dot class, then semicolon. Now we have to simply add this on our array list, messages array list dot add, and inside this we have to add our messages, then semicolon. Now we have to, after this we have to simply type here messages adapter dot notify dataset chain. So the finally chat app is ready. Now let's check our app whether the app is working or not, and if it is working fine. First of all, it's showing error. So the error is because I don't add a semicolon here. So finally this is also an error because I don't add a semicolon here. So wait, why it is showing error? So because I don't need to add a equal here, I have to pass here this semicolon because it is for each loop. Sorry for this mistake. So finally the chat app is ready. Now we have to check our app whether the app is working or not, and if it is working fine, then I will go onto the database and then I will try to explain everything from start how it is working, and let's see whether it is working or not. So first I remove the extra space from here. Now inside this what I can do, I can also use an override method of onStop and onStart. So simply come from chat fragment and simply copy this onStop and onStart. We can use these methods. So I simply Ctrl+C copy and simply come inside our specific chat and simply add these override methods below this bracket. And our adapter name is messages adapter dot start listening, messages adapter dot stop listening, messages adapter not equal to null. And inside this simply pass a notify dataset chain dot notify dataset chain. So we can also include this, and also we can use the override method of Cloud Firestore if to show the user is online or offline if user go back from this activity, because I am not going to add this because I already explained everything. So you can easily add that method. Now let's run this app. So before running this app, first of all I have to create the APK of this application, because we can run this app directly but it will run on in my phone, but I have to, for checking the app, I have to install the APK in 2 phones. So that's why it is better to create the APK. Then I will copy that APK inside our both of the phones, and then I will show you whether it is working or not. So I click on build APK and then it will start building this. On running on the application, our run build successful, but after when I click on any of the person, or we can say whenever I click on any of the one to do the chat, our app going to crash. So I figure out the problem why it is crashing. So the problem is that I am fetching the message from here, you can see, and I fetch the message from the path of sender room, but I define the sender room here because I create the sender room here by using mSenderUID. So that's why it will crashing. So you have to simply cut the code from here, and after cutting the code from here, you have to simply pass the code here, paste the code here. So now it will not crash. Now let's again run our application and see whether it is working or not, and then we will check out. Then we'll move ahead. So I press on run button and Gradle start building. So after the Gradle build successful, I will also install this application on my second phone, and then I will show you screen recordings whether it is working or not. So application installed successfully. Now let's install this on my second phone. So I successfully installed the application in both phones. So let's start checking our app whether the app is working or not. So for this, first simply I open the app in my first phone. So this is the app. You can see my chat app tutorial. I open it. So my database contain only 2 users, so it will going to show only 1 user. So because I write a query to show all user except me. So you can see it's this time it says my status is offline. So now I open my app in my new phone. So when I open this app, you can see I directly come on our on start and it will show the status online. So you can see now the user is online and it automatically get updated, and this is very fast. So you can see it is fine. Now let's come on to the profile section. So if I come on profile section, and here you can see my name is displaying here. So when I click on profile section, so you can see my profile is tech projects, and in the second phone if I come here, so here you can see my profile is Brijesh Kumar. So this is done. Now you can update the profile, it is your choice. So on start and on stop working method is already working fine. So it is your choice whether you want to update profile or not. So let us suppose I will show you how to update profile. So I simply add a tech projects, only tech, and then I type the name in capitals, tech projects, and also here in capitals. Then I also update the image. So I simply pick a new image from gallery. So I simply take this image. So you can pick any image. I want to just show this is whether it is working or not. So now I click on update profile, and you can see now the image is updated successfully and the letters is changed, and now you can see on the left side phone the new name is get it successfully, but I not get the new image. So it will little bit take time. So you can see I get the new image successfully. So let's start checking our app by chatting whether the chat feature is work or not. So I open this chat section here, and also I open the chat section here. So it is looks fine and the layout is responsive. So it is, and on the toolbar I get the name and image. So let's start sending message. So if I send here hi from here, so you can see the message gets sent successfully, and I also get the message here. Now let us suppose if I type here welcome chat. So welcome chat is send it successfully, and I also receive the welcome chat here. So you can see our application is work fine. Now if I go back and I close the application, and I also close the application from this phone, and let us suppose I open this application again, and now I will have to see whether the message is appearing here or not. So you can see currently I am offline because on the left side you can see my phone is closed. Now I open this application and you can see I get all messages. So it means our chat app was work fine. So now come on to the database and I will show you how the things work. So for this I open my Firebase console in my phone, and this is our project, my chat app tutorial. And this time I have 3 users because I have to check the app whether it is working or not and whether it is one-to-one. So that's why I add some new users. So now let's come inside our Firebase real-time database, so where we store our messages. So inside this you can see, so here you can see we have a sender rooms and receiver rooms, but this is just a, first of all you can see these are the 3 UIDs. The 3 UIDs means I have 3 users. So this is the one user tech projects, second user is Hitesh, and then the other user is Brijesh Kumar. Now I open the chat section where I store the message. So you can see every time I create the room, and here you can see this is the 6Q starting UID which is tech project. So in this time we can say sender, tech projects is the sender and who is receiver, and the ID is and start from WTQ. The ID start from MX6. So it means the receiver is Hitesh. So this is the sender rooms and receiver rooms, how the things works. So I open this last one, so where I store my previous one message. So here you can see this is first message which I send hi, and this is the timestamp, and this is the sender ID you can see, and this is the receiver room, and in this I store the sender ID because I send that person send me welcome chat, and but I am fetching all messages from my sender room. So that's why this sender ID is equal to, you can see the high message sender ID equal to current ID, then it means it is a sending message. But if it is not equal, then it means receiving message. So hope you understand how these things work, and if you try to understand little bit code, you can easily understand. This is not a complex logic and you can easily understand. So if you have any question, you can comment down below. I will try to give the answer of every comment, and if you say me, then I will make a complete detailed video on this topic, how these things work. And you can also refer the Medium article and how these things work, and there is a Medium article which is present, and I will provide the link in description. So finally our chat app is ready. So I stop the recording first. So finally our chat app is ready, and I complete this chat app in just 4 videos. So if you have any query after watching this chat application, and you can see our chat application work amazing, and what I show in your demo, and I create that application. So if you have any query after watching this video, if you're facing any error, then you have to simply comment in comment section. I will try to give the answer of every comment. So please like the video and please share this video, and if you share the video and if you support me, then I will try to bring more and more projects. So this is the end of our chat app tutorial series, and soon I will try to bring more series on MVVM architecture pattern, Room database, REST APIs. So lots of things to come on our channel, but first only if you support me. So if you support me, then I will try to bring more and more projects. So thank you. See you soon in next video, in next amazing series. Thank you.